Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have wonderful guests in studio today. We have Jack Meyer and Craig Anderson from Meyer Wealth Advisors. Welcome.
Thank you, Liz, for having us.
Tell me a little bit about Meyer Wealth Advisors.
Meyer Wealth Advisors started 40 years ago, and we started primarily in the life insurance business.
Okay.
And in the 80s, we evolved to take on investment management. So we became a risk management, wealth management firm in the 80s, and it grew from there. I think our firm has designed primarily under two hats as far as wealth management is concerned. The first is there's behavioral economics when you're dealing with money, and there's financial economics when you're dealing with money. You have to create the best financial platform, but you also got to be careful about the behavior because you can really hurt the platform if you don't handle it properly. And that's where we've evolved over the years.
That's awesome. Now, you both have specialties. Which which hat do you wear?
My hat primarily is the behavioral economics, dealing with people, dealing with their reaction to money, how are they going to react to various things. That's where I come in.
Okay.
I typically deal with the financial side of the business, developing the portfolios, making sure our clients are in the right mix of investments and the right risk level, and helping them make those decisions to make sure they don't shoot themselves in the foot and get to the point where they have that behavioral, oh my, what happened to my money, or end up in a position where their emotions take over the portfolio.
And who are your typical clients?
I would say our typical client is what I would call the millionaire next door.
Okay.
It's someone who really worked hard all their life. They've amassed an amount of wealth, maybe $500,000, $1 million, and they want to be a good steward of that money. They're questioning what's the best strategy to take that money and that wealth into retirement and develop a distribution strategy. We're actually starting to see a point where we see retirees not spend as much money as they actually could because they're scared of running out of money. So our job is to put them in a position where they're comfortable with a distribution strategy and say, this is the amount of money you can take out each month or each year and live comfortably and not run the risk of running out of money.
Because things have, you've been in business for 40 years and you told us how you've evolved, but now it's 40 years later and you really have to be innovative because things have really changed.
Well, I think one of the biggest changes in our industry in the last few years has been technology. When I started in the business, most of us dealt with and had to work with big financial institutions because we needed their computer power. Well, in the 90s, there was what we call the great crossover, where you had as much computer power in the desktop as these big financial institutions had. And so the ability to deliver information to your clients was something that we had in our hand. And we could develop and create additional services that we could provide to our clients without having to go to a financial institution to get that data.
With that data and technology, it crosses over everything, and people are just living longer and wanting to enjoy life differently than our parents or grandparents do. They want to retire at 60 and travel. How do you plan for that?
Well, when I started in the business, we planned that a person would retire at 65 and die at 72. And a blind squirrel could probably put that together. But now we have people wanting to retire at 60 and living to be 95, 96, those types of things. So we need to be able to understand exactly how the money is going to work over those periods of time. We also have to bring into play long-term care issues. In the old days, mom and dad, when there was a problem, moved in with the kids.
Right.
Now the kids don't live around here anymore. So we have to understand a fourth bucket out there, which is the long-term care issues that could come about. Craig does something really good now with our clients that technology has allowed him to do. We call it the lifeboat drill. He can take a portfolio and he can say, okay, this can possibly go down this much in a given year or this much in a given year. How are you going to react to that? Let's go to the lifeboat right now. When you're on a cruise, you go to the lifeboat drill just to practice. Well, we're going to do it for practice. We're going to go take the portfolio down this much. How are you going to react to that? If you're going to take the reaction of, oh my, get me out, we have to make it more conservative. And that's because of the technology and the talents that Craig brings to the table.
I think probably the most important thing is you have to really start at a young age. We're not can't create miracles. So if you come in at age 60 and say, I want to retire next year, and you don't have any money, we can't just overnight create a huge amount of wealth for you. We're not trying to hit home runs. We're trying to take slow, sustained growth to generate and create wealth for our clients. So it really starts at a young age, because it does take time to amass that wealth.
Well, and I think it gives a lot of comfort that you've been around for 40 years. So now the clients that started with you, you're probably dealing with their families, and you're also welcoming new clients as well. So, gentlemen, thank you for stopping by and sharing a little bit about what you do and how you do it. And we wish you continued success in the future.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Business Connection. Stay tuned.